All right, y'all. Hey, everybody. Good evening. Well, it's what time is it? Yep. Anyway, good afternoon. Um, I was just sitting there talking. So so today, I just got out of the phone with my mother actually. So she said, "Why you calling me? Talking to me?" Well, okay, fine. I'll never talk to you again. Of course, I will. So what? Let's explain what that is. Okay. How do we say something we don't mean? Well, is that our inner selves, our spirit, our inner being, our natural selves. How we actually feel. Um, we can do that. We can complete ourselves. We don't mean that. That's our ability to lie. I guess it's a lie. And a lie is anything that is not understood, even if it's unintentional. Um, Lack of communication. I'm working with some Mexicans or Guatemalans or Colombians on a roof who speak Spanish or Portuguese, and I don't speak the language they're created, which is part of all of our evolution, all of our evolving selves. And something happens because I wasn't able to communicate with him, and now he just knocked a bunch of nails off the roof, and a hammer went flying down and hit the contractor on the top of the head. Okay. And it's the same thing as it doesn't matter if you intentionally do it or not. It's a lie is a lie. We can't separate them. We can separate that with our words that we've created because we had to create these words. And I don't know if I talked about it before. It goes back to the unawareness of all the animals and creatures who have this pretty much the same awareness, I'm sure. That we don't never know. So we have taken religion into our own perception. It's powerful, isn't this? And I've been saying this. So let's go to the scientific separation. Man ate meat and his brain began to grow. Let's go to the Adam and Eve story. Eve ate the fruit and her eyes were opened. Does that sound like some kind of connection? Oh, did it open your eyes up a little bit? I hope it did. And I guess because I appear to be not very good about talking to these things until I get really spiritual. But so when we have these words and we say we didn't mean that, well, we may not have. Well, that's our ability to lie. We know that's not what happened. It doesn't matter if we lie to ourselves and say we're not going to do this, or we lie to somebody by saying something we didn't mean, or we lie to somebody that's happened intentionally. It's still a lie. So, and it only causes destruction. So to come back later and say I didn't mean it and apologize, even if we know they're lying, So we have to be careful. We've been lied to a long time, and I don't get into the religious part of Hinduism, the Krishna and the Arjuna and all the things. I just the Bhagavad Gita. I do want to read it, but I've freed myself from a lot of things spiritually, and I still got some things to work out. So we didn't mean to. What is that? Is that our creation? Well, that's our way of our way of saying it, explaining it is our creation. And that's a good one. It's deep in thought. Well, so we explain it as we didn't mean to. Because in our mind, that was nothing, there was no words to use to describe what we did. Of course, I'll call my mother back later on. I sent some text messages, and or I sent some Facebook messages, or I've sent, or I left a voicemail, anything anyone may have done, whatever it is, or man says he's gonna kill his wife, no, man says he loves his wife, and he goes home and kills her. Wife says she hates her fucking husband. She loves him, and she's gonna give him a hug. Well, that was just our creation. And we use our creation to do expressions of feelings and other things and to lie. But no matter what, any type of lie will lead to destruction because you've used any type of lie. If we have a lack of communication, we're no different than what we were, 12,000 years ago. And I'm just taking an estimation, the Neanderthals and the Homo sapien man, they say he's only been around 14,000 years. So I'm just talking about a time when Homo sapien man was obviously unaware. So when I talked to the last post, I said, try not using words and we can't do it. Right? Well, at one time we could. And we didn't have hate, destruction, and these things we created. All the things were created from disobeying God and not eating the fruit, but the meat that was forbidden. And I had to make that connection. Meat, brains, grow, change. Here's how we do it. Fruit, serpent. Because Christians took what was in search of the truth and took it for already being the truth. And that's the only thing that makes sense. And I'm not even, okay, yeah, I did claim to be a Hindu Buddhist. Okay, well, I'm really just into that religion and the way it is. I'm not really, because I'm not going to get, I don't even think, I may or may not get into the Krishna and the Arjuna. But man, what a wonderful experience it was. Okay, so through incarceration, this is in my past, I started listening to Ram Dass and Karma Yeshi Rebge. Yeshi Rebge he's a British guy. He was Indian, and he went back to India. In the story of Ram Dass, if you don't know Ram Dass, and we'll probably get to that later, but more of it later. But the only thing I know is he was in India doing acid. He's a professor at Harvard University. No, I'm sorry. Did I say India? Gosh. See? He was in Harvard. He was at Harvard University. And he doing acid apparently with his students. And he went to India. Yeah. Now, see, just like I have explained where he was and said India first, my mind trip, that was actually something natural. But like me becoming more of my natural self, because I'm already thinking about India. We can't even think without using these words. Wow, dude, what an awareness we lost. So, how do we lose that awareness? Because we were once like all any other creatures. And then we were awake. Fruit, meat, food, forbidden, brains begin to grow, became awake, eyes were open. See the connection with God and the Christians? It was only the truth it was in search of, and the truth wasn't done. And I had discovered that myself. More connections. So what was mankind? Butt naked. Running around. Women butt naked. You didn't have chomos running around raping children because their awareness was different. You didn't have people murdering. Everything that was natural for man to that we didn't create because we couldn't was okay. You You don't see deers or dogs. Anytime if you pay attention, anytime they it's their natural instinct to do that. But we moved away from that. So eyes were open. We became aware, and we had changed. And so Eve gives the apple to fruit. Apple, now they don't say it. Fruit, meat, food to who? Adam. And what happens? They knew they were naked. So the ones that ate the meat knew they were naked. And the science was right there. They had it. They just couldn't put it together, could you? Well, I hope a scientist sees, and I hope you know what I know now. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, I'm a scientist. I went to college for all these years. I'm smarter than anybody. And you're a dumb, stupid idiot. And I hope you don't be offended that I'm not smarter than you. But by moving backwards, I've actually became way smarter. See, we think we're getting more intelligent moving forward. So but the further we move ahead, the further we move away from the ability to ever being possible to moving back to what we were before, unaware. Animals, they didn't think about death. We didn't think about death. We didn't think about today. We didn't think about tomorrow. We didn't think about any of them things until eyes were opened. But no, just like mankind, And this is just my perception, okay? This is not anything necessarily written down or anything I'm taking. This is mine. Maybe I should just write me a book, like the Bhagavad Gita wrote their book, and then Bible wrote their book. Maybe mine would be better. So it was just a connection I made, And God created us in his own image. Oh, well, God looks like it. We look like him. He created us to look like him. No. I wish I could show you the device I'm talking on, but I'm going to show you something else. What is this? It's a little ashtray, right? So God created man in his own image. Well, guess what, people? You're blind. We do the same thing. This ashtray is our image. Watch this. Packaging food is our image. Our image. Our image. Our image of what we created. It's powerful now. Our image. Do any of these things look like us? Of course not. Our image. Everything we've created is in our image. But we were so stupid and thought we were so smart. While we was in search for God and the beginning, where did we come from? Where did we go? We can't even figure out why we're searching for God. Why we're searching for? We can't even figure out why we even know. Well, so that's what we need to get back to. Why did we know? Well, something happened. And obviously there's a connection there with the fruit, the meat, and the scientist. The truth has always been right in front of us. We just can't see it. I don't anymore. I don't have any hatred. That is. We have to understand what emotions are created by us and which ones are not. Pain, suffering, happiness. Those aren't necessarily created by us, but anger, hatred is created to cover up something natural. We're angry because we're hurt. We're angry because we're frustrated. We created that. And it's almost like we're lying to ourselves. We've learned to lie so well. Our need to lie. It's scientists. And there's a lot of great, wonderful scientists out there. Thank you for y'all doing what y'all doing. But I don't think y'all are as smart as y'all think you are. You need to slow down and start moving backwards. So we can't keep moving forward. We have to move back. And it don't make any sense, does it? But guess what? Forward, backwards, our creation, our way of explaining what we're doing. And as long as we can explain what we're doing, we'll go keep doing it the way we want to do it. And not the way we naturally should. And if you think about it, so here they are, they got this, they're aware. Adam and Eve. We're going to use them as a metaphor. The Bible already talks about them. And I know Christians are going to see this and I want them to see this. And they'll listen, maybe. Adam and Eve walking around. They're aware. They know they're naked. There's other people there walking around the land of Nod or whatever, whatnot land they're on. And so when you pay attention to the Bible, they weren't the first people on it. They were the first ones to be aware. That's what they was talking about. But we have misconceived that. And brother, I just want y'all to know what I know now. And don't argue against me. And instead, if you want to argue against me, instead be supportive and give me your opinion. That would be anything but an argument to where I have a better understanding. And don't go against me. Instead of saying, oh, you're wrong, you're wrong. Well, you got a good point. What's your just ask me what supports that? What do you have anything that what's your hypothesis or something? Just and then we can have a better understanding together. But if we try to move against one another, science, atheists, Christians, anyone of religion, we can't and we'll never understand. It just won't be possible. We'll be moving against each other. Won't even know we're moving away from the truth. We go against each other, thinking we're moving towards the truth because they don't have the truth. But then the whole time we had to talk about it. So I heard scientists were actually getting back with religion and Christian and they're working together. And hey, amazing. You should have been doing that. Maybe they are, but they're not. So I've seen a lot of things. The Titanic. Well, trying to figure out why it didn't crush. Well, logical, scientific evidence. I mean, a scientific explanation. But they don't know, man. And then there's to say, oh, they built this ship unsinkable. God himself can't sink this ship. We were supposed to be closest related to chickens. And then recently, when I looked on Google, it said we were closest related to 98% chimpanzees. Well, I guess they just couldn't stop when they found the chicken. They had to find the missing links between the chicken and the chimpanzee. They will. It doesn't matter how much you don't accept what is. It still is what is. And it's not that we are not related to them, which is we don't know the truth. And the truth is, maybe the truth is we don't need to know. The truth is we didn't need to know before we became aware. So this whole time we've been trying to find out how we became aware. So God is not who is God, it is what is God. And when you think about our image and we think about hell, this is maybe offensive. And this is just my perception. We're Satan. We're Satan. Satan is a depiction of what we are. I should be God. I'm better. And the heaven that Satan, which is us, was kicked out of was our awareness when we were the herbivores. Okay, you kicked out of heaven, and all the angels that went with them were the other Homo sapiens who decided to eat the meat with Adam and Eve. Now it all makes sense. I'm sure I'll get a million. I want this to go viral because, it's almost like They wanted to create a dependency on money, you know. Yeah, they wanted to create some kind of. So Social Security denies me and all this, and all this bad. This name that is bad, terrible. You know, the best thing that could happen to any of us is we get slapped, poor, lose everything we own, take all the clothes off all our back, lose our awareness of what we are now, which I'm not sure we could ever do, and just go back to living in the caveman days, before the caveman days, when we were eating the berries. And we didn't need fire. We didn't know about yesterday. We didn't know about tomorrow, but now we know. So what does Satan and his angels do? So I guess whoever ate the meat was Satan. Eve, well, but then it got confusing. There's a New Testament. In the beginning was God, and the Word was God, and the Word was with God. Something like that, wasn't it? There's a genealogy, and all that's true. So that's why I believe it. It's only true to a certain extent. It's just misunderstood. Once it's misunderstood, it no longer becomes true. It's misled. Christianity was true until it was turned into a lie. So it led into destruction. Now we're going to talk about Jesus. What did Jesus? He was an awesome person. You know, he was probably, I didn't move away from him. Oh gosh, I got so close to him now. He was so wonderful. And now I'm wondering, did he go to India? I'm going to read up on that and find out. But we seem to get all our answers from Google and all that. And I have found Google in several lies already. Okay. They're approximating things and getting either. Computers are only programmed to know what we've done. My parents, when I was young, I asked a question. What did they do? Google it, Google it, Google it. What a stupid thing to tell me. You're telling me Google's not going to lie to me? And it doesn't mean it doesn't matter if they intend to or not. Whether it's still a lie. And they go back and change it, you know. So when I go out here and get a perception that I had, you know, it was a lie. Well, closely related to chickens. So somebody says, look up on Google. Well, I'm going to look that up. Oh, we're 98 point yada, yada, yada percent chimpanzees now. Well, years ago, I had a very clear understanding that we weren't at all related to monkeys or apes or anything. We were closely related to a chicken. So I said something to somebody and said, well, I'm going to look it up on Google. And now all of a sudden Google's telling us we're so related to chimpanzees. Oh, well, we must have evolved from them. Now, just even if we are related to all of them, that doesn't mean we evolved from them. We're trying to figure out where we came from, going against what was written down, what was a lie, and the truth has always been right there in front of us. And I've been talking for 23 minutes now, almost 24 minutes now. And I'm probably going to stop this right at 24 minutes, right before it. We're just a few seconds away. I want you to know what I know, so others can know, so their mind can be free. That's all. Peace.